Welcome. My goodness, good to be here. A lot of familiar faces, a lot of brave resource investors out there. It's nice to see such a good turnout throughout the conference so far today. This is an exciting day for us because actually we opened up a financing this morning led by Red Cloud. This is one that I'm excited about for people getting in here because I think people are going to make some money. Now, for those of you that aren't familiar with Blackrock, we're a Nevada-focused company. We're tied to now 3 different minerals. We're after high-grade silver and gold, but we just found out we've got a whole lot of lithium on our property too. Certainly some forward-looking statements. If you're not looking forward, where the hell are you going? And we got a lot to look forward to here. So what Blackrock's about, our flagship over the last few years, has been our Tonopah land holdings. Halfway between Vegas to Reno in the Walker Lane district there is a little town of Tonopah, very famous in the old days. It's one of the most famous historic silver camps in North America, one of the most high-grade ones too. We're the first group to consolidate the Tonopah Silver District and bring drilling to it in about 100 years since when production shut down. Very, very simple proof of concept drill program that we went on about 2 years ago was really just to prove the one thing, and that's that the old timers didn't shut down because they ran out of gold and silver. They shut down due to low metals prices and some technological issues that were present in the 1920s. We've announced 3 discoveries in the last 3 years. 2 of them are in Tonopah. Our initial drilling at Tonopah has established it as one of the highest grade undeveloped silver projects in the world right now. In addition, we staked some land around there just north of our project in search for gold and silver. We hit lithium. Turns out, directly abutting our project to the north there is a $5 billion NPV project owned by a company called American Lithium. The mineralization that we drilled out there, very similar grade profile, very similar rock and geology that American Lithium has. Within about a month of us announcing our lithium discovery there, we had multiple companies approach us to do a deal on it, and we've entered into a joint venture deal on that now, which amounts to $15 million US going into the ground over the next few years. It's going to see a feasibility study delivered, which will form a 70-30 JV. Effectively, what we've got in Tonopah, you've got a very high-grade silver-gold district going east-west, and you've got an intersection of this very famous lithium belt, emerging lithium belt, and we're the big prize in the middle there. So we've got a very strategic land holding down there. Just a few months ago, we announced a brand new, Nevada's newest high-grade discovery up in northern Nevada, 70 grams per ton gold, 600 grams per ton silver that we were able to identify on what was a 3 drill hole program. I'm going to spend most of the time talking about Tonopah because that's really where our valuation's based on. We're backed by high-grade ounces in the ground. As I was saying, this is a historic district. In about 30 good years, Tonopah produced just under 2 million ounces of gold, 200 million ounces of silver, but most importantly, that was from only 7.5 million tons. That means 2 things, high grade and good metallurgy. You'll see it's strategically halfway between Vegas and Reno. The highway that goes between Vegas and Reno cuts right across our property. The story of Tonopah can be told on this production chart here. It was discovered in 1900. Big hockey stick chart up. They were producing up to 14 million silver equivalent ounces per year by around 1910. In the 1920s, metals prices tanked, sent everything in the district belly up by 1930, and no one had been doing any exploration there ever since until we got our hands on this. Very simple proof of concept, as I said. We wanted to prove that the old timers didn't run out of gold and silver. We've done that. In a year and a half's worth of drilling, we've now backstopped our valuation with 43 million ounces of silver equivalent. Our equivalents are just silver and gold. About 100-to-1 silver to gold ratio is what we see in our drilling. We've got 3 million tons at a block diluted grade of 445 grams per ton. That makes this one of the top 2 highest grade undeveloped projects in the world right now in the silver space. We're not in Peru, we're not Mexico or Bolivia, Argentina, Colombia. We're on private land in Nevada, a 3-hour drive from Vegas. A few things I'll tell you about our resource here. It's underground vein-hosted resource. We use very, very high thresholds. It's not based on any exotic mining methods. It's cut and fill and long hole stoping. And as I said, it's a block diluted grade, which means that any gristle has been cut off this. This is the real deal. It's a very conservative resource that we're very proud of. So here's how we stack up against most of the other silver exploration development companies out there right now. You'll see along the x-axis, we're number 2 right behind Vizsla in terms of average grade. They present theirs as diluted. We present ours as undiluted. We present ours as block diluted. They present undiluted. What that means is we're about roughly the exact same grade, presented similarly. Our maiden resource, the 3 million tons at 445 grams per ton, that's the exact same maiden resource that Silvercrest came out with in 2018 on their Las Chispas project. They came out with about 3 million tons at around 550 undiluted, which is roughly our same grade. Now you'll see Silvercrest up there. They command the highest ounce in the ground valuation of the silver producers at the moment. Market values grade over everything else. The other thing that makes us stand out, and similar to Silvercrest, is that we're not polymetallic. There's no lead or zinc. It's just silver and gold, and these deposits command a premium. You'll see that Silvercrest's average grade is effectively more than doubled from where they started. We see that same potential with what we're doing. Our maiden resource that we drilled out was all done from drilling from surface, fairly wide spacing, but we know that once you get underground and start drilling out the high-grade structures, the average grade ratchets up. So you might not be adding new tons, but the average grade that you're drilling out as you follow those chutes really moves. So not only do we see a few different ways to make money here, right now these same ounces are trading for about $1.30, $1.40 an ounce. This time last year, high-grade stories were trading for $3. You can make money by just waiting for the market to go up, but we want to keep putting the pedal to the metal. So what we're doing is we're going to keep finding ounces at Tonopah where we've already established some significant expansion potential and keep de-risking the project forward towards development. So the story of Tonopah, the story of our project, is really the story of the historic workings. You'll see in the northeastern portion of our project, that's an area that was seen a lot of activity. That was called the Victor Vein. They mined that down to around 1,880 feet before they flooded the mine in the 1920s. This was a very big company back then. A guy by the name of Charles Schwab happened to be on the board. When they flooded out the mine, what happened was, their engineers and geologists said there's a whole lot more mine life here. Let's take out some debt. Let's send off for some diesel generators and some water pumps. It took about 3 or 4 years for those to be built and shipped over from Europe. In that time, metals prices tanked, and the debt they took out to fund that development sank the company. This company went into receivership in the 1930s. It was picked up by an individual who owned it within his family ever since we picked it up 3 years ago. We're the first group to put drill holes into this project ever, and what we wanted to do was go back right into that area that they were preparing to mine. The record said the vein was going to be 24 meters thick where they finished production. Drill hole number 1 hit 30 meters of a kilogram per ton silver equivalent, in addition to 2 other veins that the old timers didn't even know were there. While this same company was waiting for those water pumps and diesel generators to be built and shipped, they drifted across underground and they hit a whole new series of veins in the center of our property, which they called the DPB area. That's another area that they were preparing to mine when they went bankrupt. That's another area where we started drilling around, and those 2 areas which we've now backstopped with these resources. So the 2 polygons you see there represent the Victor area and the DPB area. Those are the areas that are covered in our maiden resource. It's still open at depth. We just did some drilling at Victor, hitting it down plunge. It keeps going. We don't know how deep those roots go, but it's still going. Now, most importantly is we know this thing's getting bigger too, because those blue lines cutting across the project there, those are faults. That's where we sort of lost the veins until we just found them. We managed to find the offset portion of the same vein system that we've drilled out in the resource. Our last set of drill results there hit about 4.5 meters. We saw grades up to around 800 grams in there. We've got multiple pierce points on that offset vein system now, and it looks like it's running north-northwest up there. So it's wide open, and we're going to keep following that. We've also hit some of our highest grade drilling to the south of our resource area near surface. We hit 6.5 kilos down there just south of our DPB resource area. It's grades like this that get people excited, because grade is king in this industry. Grade is margin, and we think we've got something that's going to stand out very special. Now, early on in our drilling, we started thinking that the veins were going to start moving up to the northwest. So we staked all the land around it that we possibly could that was available. You'll see the blue portion there, that represents our gold and silver deposit. We started drilling all the BLM claims we got up north there. Every single drill hole missed for gold and silver, unfortunately. But every drill hole that we drilled up there encountered lithium at very good grades. Now, it just so happens that this isn't just a silver gold district. Just northeast of our project there, directly abutting us to the northwest, sorry, is American Lithium's TLC deposit. They put out a maiden resource on the, a PEA on that about a month ago. $5 billion American NPV after tax, 36% IRR after tax. We've got the extension. We've got the same rocks. It's right at surface. What we did when we started putting out our lithium results, we had a lot of inbound interest. Obviously, it's a good commodity to be in. We did a joint venture deal with a company called Tierlac Resources. It's a new company, but they got a hell of a lot of gray hairs on their technical team. It's mostly comprised of ex-Rio Tinto industrial metals people. A lot of them own patents in terms of various extractive processes for lithium claystone deposits specifically. They're drilling that right now. They're going to be putting out a resource on it very quickly, and they're also doing concurrent metallurgical studies. They think they can do in 1 year what it took American Lithium 4 years to. There's already talks about looking at a PEA concurrently once the initial resource is done some point next year. We've got a bulk sample there planned from a big outcropping outcrop there, which Tierlac's going to be doing in Q2, multi-ton bulk sample, so they can do some concurrent metallurgical studies. Now, what's very unique about Tonopah is it's literally right in the middle of Vegas. You've got the highway that connects Vegas to Reno cutting right across our property. You'll see our drill rig right there in between a Comfort Inn and Suites and a Subway sandwich shop. You've got everything there. You don't have to build anything. You don't have to move power or build power lines, roads, man camps. You've got everything. In fact, you got Subway on one side of our drill rig and Burger King on the other. It's about as good, too good to be true. Now, the third project, the project that got us here originally as a company, was the Silver Cloud property. And Silver Cloud is on the highest grade gold belt in Nevada, right where it intersects with the Carlin Trend. So to the southeast of us, you've got some of the biggest mines in North America. We're just southeast of us is Gold Strike. That's the largest mine. But right next door to us and right on trend of us are the two highest grade historic mines in Nevada, Midas and Hollister. Both of their systems point directly at us. Yeah, you'll see on the bottom portion of your screen, that's the Gold Strike pit. Right next door, Hollister. Now, what's interesting about Hollister is the veins there go east-west. They point directly at our project. At Midas, the veins go north-northwest. They also trend directly at our project. We always thought that our target at Silver Cloud would be something Midas style, just given the thick volcanic rock package that we've got there. Midas was known for producing 3 million ounces of gold at about 30 grams per ton. Those are Fosterville type numbers. It was a cash machine in the early 2000s. Pierre Lassonde made his name on that with Franco-Nevada, and it's one of the main reasons why Newmont was profitable in the early 2000s. When we did our drill program up there in December, we hit about 1.5 meters, which is what we always thought the prize would be. We didn't hit 30 grams per ton, which Midas produced at. We hit 70. We also hit a very, very high-grade silver up there. Most importantly, though, is we've blown the doors off our understanding in terms of which way things are running. This intercept that we just made up there lines up perfectly with an intercept that our chairman drilled when he had the project with Placer Dome 20 years ago. But no one had been able to pin the tail on the donkey in terms of which way things were going. A little bit of grace on a very small drill program that we did, but we connected, and boy did we connect there. We've now got about 425 meters of strike length on the system. We're going to be bringing drills to this in a month or two to offset that 70 gram per ton intercept, and we think we've got potential to keep hitting similar grades. In fact, Hecla, just north of us right now, they're drilling out a new discovery up at Midas. They're hitting also 1.5 meter vein widths. They're drilling up to 185 grams per ton gold. Many intercepts over 100 grams. That's what we think is the potential here, and we've now got a handle on which way things are running. So with us, you're tied to high-grade gold and silver. That's what we do best. We've got a free call option on lithium, and we've gotten that project in the hands of a really competent group who are going to be spending a lot of money and quickly advancing that. We expect our lithium project to be our next resource project. We're going to bring drills back to Tonopah and keep drilling off that step out that we've now hit on for another expansion program. And Silver Cloud, I think, has the potential to really, really move the needle for us. I don't know, in 5 years' time, if I look back at what our projects become, I don't know which one's going to be the biggest. I don't know what we'll be known for, but I know we've got 3 really significant discoveries in the last 3 years. All of them have standalone potential. All of these should make us a very interesting target. Now, our Silver Cloud project, how does that fit in with our Tonopah project? Well, up at Silver Cloud, we're the donut hole in the middle of Hecla Mining's claim block. They own Midas, they own Hollister. Both of those, there's 2 mills on care and maintenance walking distance from our discovery. You don't have to build anything there. Also, a little company that's also a shareholder of us named First Majestic Silver owns Jarrett Canyon just north of us. We think we've gotten a lot more compelling as a takeout target on the back of this new discovery. Obviously, silver deposits are very rare, especially being in a good Tier 1 jurisdiction like we have on private land. But having a second discovery in the middle of surrounding 2 of the largest silver companies out there, I think there's something really compelling, and we're trying to walk all of these forward concurrently. 3 projects, all are going to see some drilling. Drill results pending from Tonopah North right now, lithium. Those will be coming out once we close this financing. We've got a follow-up program at Silver Cloud happening sometime probably next month, and we're hoping to get the drill back at Tonopah right after Tirlak's done with it on the lithium stuff. So 3 ways to win. Obviously, markets, it's a storm out there for everyone, but what we have, there's some serious value here, and I think there's, I've put more than $300,000 of my own money into this in just the last 4 or 5 months, buying in the market, because this is an opportunity, that doesn't come around all the time, and it's one that I think in a couple years' time we're all going to be looking back on pretty fondly. Anyways, thank you very much.